So this is just an example class, but if we actually look at a FLA file, you can see that I've drawn a little piece of artwork here, and I put it on a layer, and I actually defined some actions. And if you actually look at the actions, it's 4 lines of code. So any sort of artist or designer could actually very quickly get into Hype and start sketching. So just to walk through this, I can say that I would like to import the fixed vibration behavior class. I would like to create a new fixed vibration, and then I'm going to tell it its properties. So I'm saying fixed vibration, I'd like to add a new target, and that target is the movie clip on the stage, which is called KerClip. And could you change alpha for me? And the spring and the damping are these numbers right here. It should go from an alpha of 0 to an alpha of 1, and go ahead and start that vibration. So what happens is that, again, Hype becomes this really quick tool to sketch. And that's kind of what we feel is really missing from ActionScript 3, is the ability just to get in and start sketching. I often find that I spend so much time setting up all this framework before I can even start to get sketching. And so Hype hopefully will fill that void for me, and hopefully for a lot of other designers and animators. So with 4 lines of code, I could actually run this movie, and you can see here that it is actually working. It is looking at the clip, and it's applying vibration to the alpha of this particular asset. So if I was to modify this a little bit, if we were to look at this file right here, here is the same 4 lines of code, but instead of alpha, I'm actually asking it to do scale XY. Scale X would just change the X scale of the object. Scale Y would just change the Y scale of the object. Scale XY allows us to scale both on the X and Y axis. So just by changing just this property, when I rerun the movie, I get the vibration now happening to scale rather than alpha. Moving on to the next one. On this particular file, I've added 2 properties. I've said that I want to vibrate the x-axis, and I actually want to vibrate the y-axis. So I can actually talk to 2 properties independently, and I could actually give them completely different springs, different dampings, different mins, different maxes. And so now when I run this file, it actually does vibrate the x-axis and y-axis accordingly. Now, where it gets fun is where you start to combine these things, and again, that's the nice thing about Hype. In this particular file, I've asked the code to apply all of these properties all at once. So here I'm saying I want to create a new fixed vibration, and I want to change the clip's alpha, its scale X, scale Y, its rotation, its X, its Y. And so again, with very minimal amount of code, I actually can run this and get all of those properties working in tandem. So on a really base level, Hype has the potential of being quite powerful. And because Hype becomes kind of this manager of animations, it means that I can start to combine behaviors and combine animations. So I threw together a couple of quick ones here that I'll just show you really quick. So here I'm actually asking it to import 2 behaviors. Variable vibration, which is a meanderer. It's not on a fixed location, where fixed vibration is on a fixed point. Variable vibration becomes an animation that meanders. So you can see here I said, cool, I want to create a new variable vibration, and what should meander is the X and Y. So now my clip has the ability to kind of, I want to go over here, and no, I want to go over here. It's just going to sort of meander around. Whereas the fixed vibration says, okay, I understand that you're meandering, but while you're meandering, please apply alpha, scale, and rotation. So again, this gets really powerful to create these sort of super animations by asking Hype to combine a lot of behaviors all in one file. So now when I run this, what will happen is that you can see it is applying the fixed variation of changing alpha, rotation, and scale, but the x-axis and y-axis of meandering is happening pretty much all over screen. I don't have any control as to where the heck this file goes. And it's off. Okay, so just to show you maybe one last example of really kicking it in high gear, I have something like this, which again is only 42 lines of code, but here I've got a lot of things happening. I'm actually importing 4 behaviors in Hype. I'm asking it to do variable vibration, which is our meander, fixed vibration, which is a fixed animation. I want it to do a color controller so that I can color the assets that get created. And then I want to import Canvas. And for the programmers in the audience, Canvas is really just a quick way of saying I want to use the bitmap data object. You know, that's just saying simply, hey, I want to use the canvas and paint to it. And again, Hype will do all the heavy lifting of creating a bitmap data object and painting to it. So I create a new canvas to paint to. I create a new container to attach my artwork into. I create a new array of colors that I want the system to use. I go ahead and create instances of the controllers. And all I'm going to do down here is really is these lines of code right here, which is, hey, let's color the clips that get attached. Go ahead and apply the meandering, and go ahead and apply the fixed vibration. And then this last line down here says, oh, by the way, whatever the heck you're doing, paint it, capture it to the canvas object. So now when I actually run this movie, I have a little particle system that is doing the meandering, it's doing the fixed vibration. Each clip of artwork got a random color associated with it, and I'm using the canvas to capture the painting as this thing moves across the screen.